Where exactly does Endgame begin? With opening, it's very easy to answer this question. Well, it starts with the very first move. But with Endgame, in some games it starts at move 50. Some other games, it can start 100 moves after that. I like to think of Endgame as a safe harbor where you can head for after a long and tumultuous sailing in the middle game. And typically when a player feels that he's ahead in the game, he can start going in that direction to keep the game calm and simple. And if you feel like you're winning the game right now, well, hallelujah, you can start playing Endgame right away and hopefully simplify everything and maybe even win the game before your opponent notices that there's something wrong. But then again, there are a lot of endgame moves on the board. Which ones do you play right now? Well, a simple answer is you just have to calculate the value of each and every one of those moves and you play the bigger ones first. But hey, that's one of those things that's easier said than done because visually it can be very misleading. For example, you look at this move here and you think it's very nice, it's quite big, and it's actually worth only 3 points. And then on the same board at the same time you have moves that are worth 12 points, 15 points, 18 points, 20 points, but you just played this one. You do this a couple times and you just lost 25 points, just like this in the end game. And if you're thinking that all of this sounds a little far-fetched and hard to believe, take a look at this example right here. Suppose that you're playing black here, and you have a choice between playing A and capturing these 5 white stones, and playing B and saving a single black stone on the second line. And you just know it's a trick question, but your eyes are lying to you. And if right now you want to capture these 5 white stones, then you're not alone. And this is indeed a very big move. It's worth 15 points. But you know what the crazy thing is? Is that saving this single black stone is actually worth 17. So in the game, a correct decision here would be to save this stone because it's a bigger move to play and let white save these 5 stones. But of course, there's a lot of complex math and calculations behind this. And if we want to understand how and why it works like this, we'll gradually get to this, but let's do some simple math first. Once again, it's black's turn here, and black can capture these 3 stones, or black can save these 2. And you remember that capturing a stone is actually worth double. So if you want to find out how much it is worth in points, you need to multiply it by 2. So capturing 3 stones is worth 6 points, and saving these 2 is worth 4 points. 6 is better than 4, so black captures these 3 first. And if it was white's turn here, the value would still remain the same. And the best move for white would still be to save these 3 stones right now. And now let's modify this position just a little bit. It's still black's turn, but now it's 2 stones and 2 stones. So which one will you choose? Even though it seems like they're both worth the same, but that's not the case, because there's 1 extra point here, which means that if black captures these stones, then black also gets this point, which means 4 points here and 1 extra point, that is 5 points. And this one is still worth 4, so this is a better move to play. Now let's take it 1 tiny step further. This move for black can capture these 2 stones. How much do you think this is worth? If you think that it's worth 4 or even 5 points, then remember that we have to pay attention to every single detail to calculate everything correctly. So, when black takes these stones, that's 4 points, right? But let's see once again. If white saves them first, then white also gets this point. And if black captures, then this point is gone. So that is 5 points right there. 4 points here and 1 extra point. But how about this one? When white connects here, is this a point for black? Not really, because after white plays here, this is Atari and black will have to connect. So this point is gone, which means that when black captures these stones, he gets 4 points here, 1 extra point here, and 1 extra point here. So this move is worth 6 points. But of course, in a real game, it's not just the value of 1 single move that matters, or it's not just a choice between 2 moves, but it's always a sequence of moves that you have to keep in mind. So let's say we have these 3 moves that are left to play on the board. Which one do we want to play first? This one, we remember, it's worth 6 points. This one is just saving or capturing these 2 stones, so that's 4. And here we have 2 stones and 1 extra point, so that's 5 points. 6, 5, 4. And this is the order in which you want to play this in a game. So in the perfect scenario, black would take these 2 stones, white would save these 2, and black would save these 2. So black gets 6 and 4, 10 points, and white gets 5. 10 versus 5. But if black messes up the order in any way, black wouldn't get the same result. Let's say if black takes 5 first, then white takes 6, and black takes 4. Now black has 9, and white has 6. This is a 2-point difference with the best result. And I know 2 points doesn't sound like much, but if you ever lost the game by half a point or by 1.5 points, then you know what I'm talking about here. So far we've been looking at endgame situations which involved capturing stones. And now let's look at a different example where no stones are captured. And let's calculate the value of this move here. Black and white are down to the first line here, and now it's finally time to settle the border. So when black plays here, how much is this move worth? When white responds here, and black connects, white lost this point here. So this move is worth 1 point? Well, not exactly. Because if we imagine that white plays here first, and now Atari, and white connects, now black lost this point. So actually, it's all about these 2 points here. If black plays first, white loses one of them, and if white plays first, then black loses one of them. And we need to take both of these possibilities for black and for white and to add them up. And it doesn't matter who plays here first, black or white, but this move here is going to be worth 2 points. And if all of these examples seem a little too basic, let's spice it up a little. So how about this move on the first line for black? It seems like white has the same shape here, so is it still worth 2 points? But black's shape is different, so in this situation, the same move is worth 5 points and not 2. Boom! That is insane, right? And we'll explain why that is later in this course. By the way, you can also watch these lessons on our platform, gomagic.org. Except there, you'll watch them with interactive quizzes right within the lessons and practical exercises right after them. And if you enjoy watching these Go videos and you don't want to miss others like this one, go smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and this is Go Magic.